Ride to Happiness is one of the craziest roller coasters in the world, but is it as good of a coaster to be contender for the best roller coaster in the world? Keep watching to find out. Ride to Happiness is the second installation of the extreme spinning coaster model by Mack Rides. The first extreme spinning coaster model opened as Time Traveler in Silver Dollar City. Time Traveler opened in 2018 and received rave reviews by both coaster enthusiasts and the general public. 3 years after the first installation, Plopsaland teamed up with Tomorrowland Music Festival to create another extreme spinning coaster, but this one is nowhere near the same intensity level as Silver Dollar City's installation. Ride to Happiness is turned up a few notches, perhaps too many. In general, the spinning mechanics on the train is so much faster than Time Traveler, and the pacing of this ride is awesome. Remember, the ride also features onboard audio in form of EDM music, which cranks up the experience. And let's quickly go over some quick facts about Ride to Happiness. This ride is 3,018 feet long. It is 108 foot high and it reaches a speed of 56 miles per hour. The layout packs a whopping 5 inversions while spinning in your seat. Now let us go through all the important ride elements. You slowly move out of the station into the JoJo roll, which twists to the right. While slowly hanging upside down, the seats also spin. This is by far the best hang time I've ever experienced. Then you arrive on the first launch. The anticipation builds up as the music starts to play. The sound is literally a heart beating. Then the launch hits. And as the launch hits, the train starts to spin like crazy. It felt like the Hulk decided to grab the cart and spin it around. The train goes up into a weird looking top hat. The airtime in the front row is by far extreme ejector airtime. Holy moly. Going down the drop, the riders in the back row get yanked down the drop, delivering yet again intense whip and airtime. The drop isn't as intense in the front. Suddenly you are twisting around in a banana roll element, which feels crazy disorientating because of the spinning seats. After the banana roll, the train moves into a traditional loop, but it is often taken sideways or backwards, which cranks up the intensity yet again. The first sections of this ride ends with a 0G roll. This inversion felt like I was doing a backflip because of the train design. And I don't know how many times I've already mentioned the spinning cars, but I won't stop because these cars add so much to this ride experience. After all these whippy inversions, we are moving into the only dull moment of the ride, which purpose is to move us into the second launch. And this one is a rolling launch with an airtime hill that really hits the riders with ejector airtime throughout the whole train. And this is my favorite element right here, the double inverting snake dive. This element is by far the craziest element I've ever experienced on a roller coaster. It really felt like I was in a high-speed car crash, and I'm not kidding. The pacing of the element in the front row is crazy, and mixed with the spinning cars, oh man, I got thrown into a double backflip. But don't forget the back row riders, they received intense whip after this element. After that, you fly into an airtime hill that twists to the left at the end, which gives strong ejector airtime. Then the train hits a steeply banked turn, which offers strong positive Gs. The final elements are 2 small airtime humps, and these humps give strong ejector airtime, which puts an end to this insane layout. Well, how can we sum up this ride? It is clearly a successor to the previous installation in Silver Dollar City. When you look at this coaster layout, you wouldn't think that it needed spinning seats. From 1 to 10, what would I give this roller coaster? I've chosen to give it a perfect 10 out of 10. Every element on this ride slaps you hard in the face. Some of the elements are way too intense for the general public, such as the first top hat and the second launch combined with the snake dive. These are my favorite elements, not to mention the JoJo roll at the start. It felt like I almost fell out of the train. And this is the final time I'll mention the spinning seats, but this only adds to the experience. From the theming to the ride layout, it is just an amazing roller coaster. And yes, this would be a contender for the best roller coaster in the world. This is a bucket list roller coaster, and I would highly recommend to book a trip to Belgium to try this thing out. It currently sits as the second best roller coaster I've ever experienced. With that being said, this is the end of the video. Have you tried Ride to Happiness? And what are your thoughts about the ride? Let me know in the comments. If you were entertained, feel free to give this video a like and consider subscribing for more content. I'll hopefully see you in the next video. Bye bye.